गणानात्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीपति धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशम् ऋतमवादिशम् सत्यमवादिशम् तन्मामावीत् तद्वक्तारमावीत् आवीमाम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवभूतैषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः या तैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या या तव तया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ता विजागशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते विवर्ष्यस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि पुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्चावदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मं सुमनासद अध्यवोचदति भक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अहीगुश्च सर्वान् जम्बयत् सर्वाश्रयातुरान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुणमुत बभ्रुः मङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रुताः सहस्रशो वैशागुन्येदयीमहे असव्यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उदैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उदैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृशो मृडयादिनः नमोऽस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीरुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्चदन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोज्या याश्च ते हस्तैषवः पराता भगवोऽप अवतत्यदनुस्त्वं सहस्राक्षशतेषु ते निशीर्य शल्यानामुगा शिवो नः सुमनाभव विज्यन्तनुक्तपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुमुत अनेशन्नस्येषव आपुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मीडुष्टमस्ते बभूव धेनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नाटकाय कृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेते अस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो यदिषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निवेदितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गो ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
मंगलदायक Respected elders, brothers, sisters and children, Jai Sai Ram. On behalf of the Region 1 Committee, I would like to welcome our whole Region 1 family and the wider Sai community in the UK to the Region 1 offering for National Guru Poornima celebrations. Swami has given us the full meaning of Guru Poornima. Poornima means effulgent moon. Guru means Gu, ignorance, Ru, destroyer. He who removes the darkness and delusion from the heart and illumines it with a higher wisdom. What a profound insight into the meaning of this festival. As a region, we usually celebrate Guru Poornima as a face-to-face event hosted by Bromley Sai Centre. It is therefore fitting that the musical offering this evening is from Brother Sharanan, who is from Bromley Sai Centre, but more of that later. The programme this evening will also have 3 short talks, the SSE children giving their views about their SSE teachers, which should be very interesting, and a few more bhajans at the end of the programme. Our first speaker this evening needs very little introduction. Mrs. Karnis Ratnasingham, or Karnis Auntie as most of us know her, has been an ardent devotee of Swami for over 40 years. Over that time, she has had a particular passion for SSE. She was instrumental in developing the SSE syllabus for the UK and has served as a national SSE coordinator. She has also been a guiding light at Merton Sai Centre since its inception. Nationally, she is probably best known for leading the UK SSE Sai Mahima programmes, which were taken to our beloved Bhagavan regularly since 1994. In fact, the first Sai Mahima performance in the Divine Presence was in Vrindavan, 3 days after Guru Poornima celebrations. The programmes have been performed in front of Swami 7 times and will always hold a special place in the hearts of all the children, parents and SSE gurus who participated in them. Carrie Santi will now share her thoughts on Swami's message to the teachers, parents and children during those Sai Mahima programs. Jai Sai Ram.
My most humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord. Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. On 7th of September 97, Swami said, "If you have faith and love, your prayers will reach God, regardless of distance. You must see that your love for God is pure and unsullied. You must be prepared to subject yourself to God's tests. The sooner you pass these tests, the nearer you will be to God. There can be no spiritual advance without going through these tests." This exemplified what we experienced in 1994. 1994 was a special year for transformation for many of us involved in Sai spiritual education in the UK. For this was the year of Sai Mahima 1, our first UK-wide SSE children's program that we took to perform before our beloved Lord. But from the planning stage onwards, this wasn't just about the final performance, but the journey of devotion and spiritual transformation that took place in the hearts of the SSE children, teachers and parents who were part of this group. We decided to do concentrated sadhana in preparation for our journey to God, starting 6 months before our planned date of departure. And it was so wonderful to witness how Swami responded to the children's sadhana. Many of the children had dreams of Swami when they made extra efforts with their sadhana. This encouraged the other children too. And Swami's response to the children in his physical presence brought tears to many of our eyes. His love for the children brought him closer to us all. In that trip, we experienced the result of complete faith in God. Some were tested more than others, according to their limit and capacity. But the grace of God came in full at the end of it all. This first special trip as a national SSE group taught us many things and gave us many precious moments and memories of our time with our Lord. The children who participated, now youth, still talk about these precious memories whenever we meet, and their experiences on the trip have had a profound effect in shaping the young men and women that they have become. One of these memories was the group interview that Swami gave us after the 2 performances of Sai Mahimas 1 that the children did in his divine presence. And I would like to share those memories of that interview with you all today. The group interview took place in the central hall in Trai Vrindavan. Swami came in and sat down in the chair, his face beaming with smiles. He looked at all of us and said, program good, very happy, good discipline, good devotion, very, very happy." He looked at some of the youth boys and shook his head and said sternly, "Bad boys, bad thinking, bad talking, animalistic. Do not be like animals. You should remember you are human. When you lose your temper, you are like a dog, barking and shouting. You must keep repeating, 'I am not dog, I am a man. I am not dog, I am man.' When you go and roam around, visiting people's houses and talking, you are like a cat or a rat. They go into houses and steal. You must say to yourself, I am not cat, I am not rat, I am man. When your mind is not steady, wandering here and there, it is like a monkey. You must say, I am not monkey, I am man. When asked if the girls are behaving all right, Swami said, yes, here they are good and very disciplined and don't waste time. But when they go out, they are not. Remember, what is Sachidananda? Sat is the sugar, the sweetness that is in everything. Chit is the water. When you mix the two, they are neither sugar nor water. They become syrup. You get the sweet syrup of Ananda, the bliss. Do good, be good, and then you will get bliss. Swami then asked the boys, where is God? Several people answered. One of the boys said, God is in our hearts, Swami. Swami shook his head and said, how can God be in your heart? Your heart is small and God is big. He took his handkerchief and said, look at my handkerchief. And he crumbled it up and held it within his clenched fist. The handkerchief is small and my hand is big, so it can fit inside. But your heart is so small and God is so big. How can he fit into your heart? God is not in you, you are in God. He held up a hand in blessing and pointed to the empty palm. What is here? Everything. Someone answered, everything is Swami. And he replied, nothing, but it is also everything. Nothing is everything. Everything is nothing. You are in God and everything is in God. What is bhakti? Swami asked. And after listening to replies, he said, it is love for God. Not boy-girl love, but pure love. The love you give without expecting anything in return. The way to God is love. How do you get to God? Be good, do good, see good. Love all, serve all. He told us, you must have confidence before you can love. You must have confidence to know that your mother is your mother before you can love her. You must have confidence that your wife is your wife before you can love her. So too with God. It is like a house with self-confidence as the foundation or floor, self-satisfaction as the walls, and self-realization as the roof. Swami talked about the power of God within you. Your eyes cannot see without the power. When you die, your eyes cannot see. Your ears cannot hear. The power is like the battery inside you. That is God. What is education? He asked. Various answers were given by the boys and girls. Swami said, training of the mind. What is study? And then Swami said, concentration of the mind, not collection of facts. He called the boy who was not in the group forward and asked him whether the ring he materialized for him was loose. The boy said yes, and so Swami took it from him. He looked at some of the youth boys and said, you are doubting Thomases. You doubt what you see and don't always believe. Here, have a close look at this ring. Look at the shape and size. Look carefully and then I will change it. The boys and the men passed it round, looking at it carefully. Then Swami took it back and blew on it 3 times, and it changed, becoming thicker with diamonds, and when he put it back on the boy's finger, it fitted perfectly. When a teacher asked if he had a special message for the teachers, Swami answered, special message? First be, then do, then tell others. You must be the practical example for the children. Some of you tell the children off for getting angry, but can't control your own temper. Some adults, especially on the Gen side, smoke. They tell the children that smoking is bad, but that it ruins your health, but they themselves can't stop smoking. And some of the children are very intelligent and ask, but why are you still smoking? Therefore, you must first do before you preach. He stressed this again later when asked about the importance of discipline for gurus and children. He said, discipline is very important for children, but you must be disciplined first to be an example. You don't practice discipline yourself, then how can you tell the children to be disciplined? First be, then do, and then tell. He mentioned wasting energy several times. Do not waste energy. Energy is God. You must use it skillfully, not killfully. Too much talking is a waste of energy. That is why rishis practiced Maunam and rose to higher and higher spiritual levels. Anger is a waste of energy. It is like a radio. If you leave it switched on, it loses power and wastes energy. When you lose your temper, you lose 3 months of energy. You lose your memory power, you lose your power of discrimination, your lips and your legs tremble, your body shakes, you become weak. You must learn to control your anger. Do not waste energy. Swami said, do not waste money, that is evil. What is the way to immortality? He asked. He listened to some of the answers. He stopped the adults answering. He encouraged the boys and girls to answer his questions. He then said, by getting rid of immorality, like anger, greed, desires, you get immortality. What is the essence of the 18 Puranas, he asked, and then said, help ever, hurt never. He asked everyone how old he was. He then said, I will be 69 in November. Do I look 69? Everyone said, no. He asked, why is it? Then he said, I don't look my age because of the 3 P's, purity, patience, and perseverance. He told those present that we should limit our desires. Believe it or not, he said, I have only about 5 robes that I wear. The devotees bring me so many hundreds of robes for me to wear, all of which I give to the students. Therefore, limit your desires and limit your attachments. You must strive for balance. The body, when it is well, has a temperature of 98.4 and blood pressure 120/80. If the temperature goes higher or lower, the body becomes sick. You buy some new shoes that are too big or too small, you won't be able to walk properly. You need a balance. You need a limit. There must be a limit to life. If you go above it, it is no good. He told us that we should not worry about the future or the past. He said, forget the past. You can't change it. Don't brood over the future. You could die tomorrow. Live in the present. The present is like a seed, and the past and the future are like 2 big trees. Your past will have determined the seed that you plant in the present, and what you plant in the present will affect the tree that grows in the future. So live in the present. Don't dwell on the past. Past is past. For boys, they are always thinking of the future. Don't think of the future. Live in the present, the omnipresent. When asked what the youth in the UK should do for him, Swami said, work without expecting results or rewards. Work, work, work. Do your duty. Duty is God. Use your mind and body as tools for the Lord. Be His instruments. When doing something, don't expect rewards. Don't worry about results. Remember that I am always with you, that I know what you are doing. God is like your shadow. Your shadow follows you wherever you go. You can't run and hide from it. You can't escape from it. It is always there. That shadow is like God. He asked some of the boys, "What is your name?" For each one he pretended that he didn't understand them, and then he pronounced the names with the correct Indian pronunciation. Example, Aruna, not Arun. Sekthidaran, not Saktidaran. He told them that proper pronunciation of words was very important. Swami said, "You pronounce your names to make it easier for Westerners. Don't be corrupted by Western culture. Keep your Indian culture strong. You are all Indian children." Several times he picked on one boy in particular and told him off, but kindly, like a mother trying to correct her child. He told him that he was getting into bad company. Swami said, "Too much wandering around and visiting friends. Not good. Show me your friends and I will show you your character. You will be judged by the friends that you keep. You will have many friends when you have money in your pocket. All will say hello, hello and be your friends. But when you have no money in your pocket and you need their help, they won't have enough time to even say goodbye to you. Remember, your only true friend is God." When a mother asked what advice he could give the mothers bringing up their children in the West, Swami said, "The mothers are not doing their duty. They are spoiling the children, especially the sons, by giving too much money and freedom. The fathers won't give the money, so the children go to the mother, and she always gives. Too much money is bad for the children." The mother then said, "This is happening everywhere, Swami." Swami said, "Not everywhere. Not in India, probably because the husbands do not give enough money to the wives. You all in London have more money and you spoil the children. Children need freedom, but not too much." He talked about unity in diversity. He pointed to a little boy in the group and said, "Look at this little boy. When he grows up, he becomes a man. Later, he becomes a husband, later a father, and later still a grandfather. Over many years, he has changed a lot, but he is still the one same man. The stages are different, but the man is one. There are many different types of jewelry, but the gold is one. Beings are many, breath is one. Nations are many, earth is one. Stars are many, sky is one. This is unity in diversity." He told us to be beggars, not beggars. He said, "Some people come and ask Swami for money and things. They are beggars, not beggars. Ask for that which I have come to give you, and you will be beggars. There are many beggars outside. You must not give them money. If you give them money, they use it to buy drink and spoil them. Give them food, give them clothes. There are lots of little boys in the village who are becoming beggars. If you spoil them, they will grow into big beggars. Don't give money." When asked if he had a special message for the UK, Swami smiled and said, "My life is my message." Someone asked Swami if he would come to the UK. Earlier he said, "Yes, but you must call not with your lips, but from here, pointing to his heart. Whenever you call me, I will come to you, but it must be with the heart." Then later he said that he wouldn't go traveling to the West because they spoil holy men with money. Holy men go to the US and the UK and they are given donations, buying them $10,000 Swami, 4,000 pounds Swami. He shook his head sadly and said, "They spoil them too much temptation." These were the main points our beloved Lord gave to us at that on that precious day. Thank you, Saya.
Sairam, brothers and sisters. My name is Sai Warren and I'm the Co-Region 1 Youth Coordinator. Guru means one who dispels darkness and ignorance. We are very fortunate to have the Lord himself, whose mission is to help us discover that we are our own Guru, the God within. On this occasion of reverence for the Guru, let us give special acknowledgement for the contribution which SSE teachers devote to our future. Swami reveals that the ideal of these teachers is to raise a generation of children who have a clean and clear conscience, thereby generating true wealth for humanity. We now have an offering from our Region 1 SSE children who are going to tell us in their own words how their SSE gurus have inspired and guided them. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram. The Gurus have inspired me to try my best at everything. Every week the Gurus come packed with fun activities and lovely stories. While doing these fun activities, we learn Swami's teachings, and the stories also show us how to put Swami's teachings into action. The Gurus are also always calm and patient, and one day I hope I will be as calm and patient as them. Om Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. My name is Sabi and I go to an amazing Bhagavad group which is really helpful and has a positive impact on my life. We have so many incredible teachers. My teacher is very special. She is calm and composed. Every time we enter class, she always has a smile on her face which is really welcoming. She always plans out the lessons in advance and she makes them really fun by adding group activities, stories, and songs. I'm so grateful to have a teacher like her. She is really inspirational and can mold us to acquire good character. Thank you.
Saram aunties and uncles, my gurus and Sai family from Brixton Sai Centre continue to inspire and guide all of the Brixton SSC students with their love and dedication. From imaginative storytelling, musically inspired art pieces, to learning new skills, they are always at the ready for us. Thank you for your patience, confidence building, care, compassion and humour. Your love and support is gladly appreciated and valued. Jai Sai Ram.
Shri Sai Ram. My name is Shri May and I'm in Group 2 Year 3 from Merton Sai Centre, Region 1. I always look forward to go to SSE, to meet my friends and my loving SSE gurus. Whether they're clearing a small doubt during SSE class or making a correction during the practice for one of our cultural activities, they do it so patiently and with so much dedication. They help us bring out the best in whatever we do, just the way Swami wants it. My SSE gurus have always been kind and inspiring, with qualities that I strive to learn from them. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. I would like to show my gratitude to my kind-hearted guru. He is one of the most inspiring gurus I've ever met in my life. My guru has taught me a lot of things without even realizing it. My guru has a lot of patience and a lot of love, which has given me the confidence to accomplish many tasks such as reciting Vedams and the 108 names of Swami. Thank you for being an amazing guru. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Thank you to my SSE teachers who inspire me to learn about Swami and his 5 human values. My SSE teachers are kind and caring and I enjoy the different fun activities and stories they do. My SSE teachers inspire me to be good, helpful and to do my best as Swami. Maybe one day I will become an SSE teacher. Thank you SSE teachers. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram all. My name is Malvika Belagag and I am in my final year of SSC, Group 3 Year 3. I started my SSC journey when I was in Group 2 Year 3, a little later than most. However, in such little time I was able to achieve and learn so much. For us students, our gurus have greatly impacted our lives, not only teaching us enriching lessons, but also helping us navigate through our daily lives. Their dedication and care over the years has made us become strong, righteous young people. For this, I would like to thank all of my SSC teachers who have supported me from beginning to end, but also to Swami, that without whom none of this would have been made possible. As Baba says, end of education is character. It is fair to say that this journey is one that has shaped me into the well-rounded, principled individual that I can say that I am today. Thank you, and Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. My SSC teachers have inspired me to always stay on the right path and to show love to everyone. They've inspired and taught me to do all the work I do as I'm doing it for God and to not expect anything back. They've also taught me to treat everyone in the same way as I would treat God, as God is inside each and every one of us. My gurus are living examples for me on how I should live my life, and I thank them for everything they've taught me. According to Baba's quote, duty is God and work is worship. My SSC teachers are doing their duty inexplicably well during this lockdown, and the service they've committed is invaluable and has greatly helped me to pull myself through this crisis. Our teachers have filled our hearts with love and have led us, under their care, along the ideal path. I am blessed to have these wonderful SSC teachers, and in return for their continuous service, we dedicate this day, Guru Poornima, to them.
My humble salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Dearest uncles, aunties, brothers and sisters, and to all the children, Jai Sai Ram. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the next speaker, who is none other than our dearest Auntie Vasiki. Auntie Vasiki has been an SSC teacher for over 15 years and served as a joint SSC coordinator at Merton Sai Centre for 4 years, before taking on the role of a joint national SSC coordinator. We're very lucky to also have her as our Region 1 SSC coordinator. She has also been involved in the last 3 Sai Mahima programs and was one of the lead coordinators for Sai Mahima 6. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Auntie Vasiki. Jai Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, Sri Satya Sai Baba. Respected elders, brothers, sisters, and children, a loving Sai Ram to you all. Wish you all a happy and holy Guru Poornima. Guru Poornima is the day when the spiritual seekers all over the world pay homage and offer their gratitude to their Guru for showing them the way to God. Swami beautifully says, the true Guru is one who can raise the student to his own level and who has no ego or selfishness. He cautions that there are many in the world today who profess to be Gurus, and that we must use our own discrimination and look for the signs of a true Guru, one who is completely selfless, equal-minded, and without envy. He teaches that the true Guru will lead us to discover that we are our own Guru, the God within. Swami lovingly said, in the name of Guru and Guru Poornima, we should not get bound by the wrong understanding that Guru as some person. There is only one Guru, and he is God. Who is that God? That is yourself. That Guru in the form of divinity residing within you, but you are searching for the Guru in the outside world. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are the qualities in you. It is these qualities itself which can lift you up to an elevated state or destroy you. If your behavior and conduct is good, then it becomes Vishnutva, gives you protection. Swami in his discourse declared that it is only through love that we can teach love, that this love flows through us as an unseen river, which we need to develop for the well-being of all and for the future of our planet. At Guru Poornima, the full moon represents the mind when it is filled with this love. On the occasion of this holy festival, let us reflect on, with gratitude, those who have transformed us with this love, our parents, teachers, and those who have been an example of divine living and self-mastery. As parents and teachers, let us reflect on and give thanks for our divine role as gurus, those who lead from darkness to light and who shape the lives of those in our care. On this occasion of reverence for the Guru, let us give special acknowledgement for the contribution which SSC teachers devote to our future. Swami reveals that the ideal of these teachers is to raise a generation of children who has a clean and clear conscience, thereby generating true wealth for humanity. He indicates that the role of these teachers is to create an atmosphere which nurtures the very highest ideals and values. We are blessed to be in Swami's fold and grace in this birth, which is the good karmas we did for last so many births. In this special occasion, I would like to thank all the elders who worked tirelessly to introduce and establish Swami's Balavikas program in this country nearly 50 years ago. And all those teachers who are working currently with our children with lot of dedication and love. May our beloved Swami shower his blessings on us all. Jai Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our loving Guru. I am Jamie Visharya, and as the joint Region 1 Spiritual Coordinator, I am delighted to introduce our final speaker, someone who is no stranger to us all. He is a Sai student from Swami's University. Having completed his BSc at the Brindavan campus, he came to the UK and continued his studies and did an MSc and then a PhD in mathematical finance at the University of Reading. He has been a Centre Spiritual Coordinator and our Region 1 Spiritual Coordinator before taking on his current role of the National Spiritual Coordinator. He will talk to us today about Swami as our ultimate Guru. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Anand Venkatramanan. Jai Saram.
I offer my humble and loving pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, and to all of you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity today to speak on the holy occasion of Guru Poornima. As I was thinking of what to speak, I was watching an interview that was given by former national president of Satyasai organization India, late Mr. Srinivasan. He was being interviewed by Professor G. Venkatraman of Radio Sai. And this interview was done about 15 years ago, back in 2004 or 5. And Mr. Srinivasan basically concludes his talk by reinforcing this message of Swami about having faith. That is the most important thing in our lives, is basically what he said. But when you leave that message aside for a second, but when you bring the context of Guru Poornima, I actually feel that all of us are immensely privileged and very lucky and fortunate to have Swami himself as our Guru. And Swami defines Guru as someone who dispels ignorance or leads us onto the path of truth or leads us onto realization or liberation. And when it comes to that, just think about it, how fortunate all of us are to have Swami himself as our Guru, and not only as a guru, but also as the destination for all of us. And when it comes to teaching us important messages of lives, and Swami has always adopted a very unique style, or he does that in a very inimitable fashion. Swami, not only does he tell us what to do, but he also lived and he lives by what is to be done. So when Swami says his life is his message, each and every moment of his life has something to be learned. The way he conducted himself, the way he would come and talk, the way he would interact with all devotees, the way he would go about serving the needs of the needy as well. I remember many a time Swami would come out in the portico and say, if Swami wants, he can convert the sky into earth and earth into sky. And recently Swami was also telling in another discourse, and actually not in discourse, in one of the videos where Swami had taken a few boys to Kodaikanal, that Swami can actually bring about transformation just as easy as turning the roti. The time it takes to turn the chapati from one side to other when you heat it, that's the amount of time it would take Swami to bring about transformation in our hearts. But Swami then says that it is not his system. He wants us to sort of put in that effort. He wants us to learn from his life of how he lived, of how he conducted himself, how he did things, and bring about the transformation ourselves. There's no point in Swami coming and transforming everyone in a jiffy. That defeats the whole purpose, right? He can dissolve the universe straight away. But what's the point? If we want to bring about transformation in ourselves, it is for all of us to sort of as Swami says. But when it comes to the matter of faith, right? I remember back in 2011, during our alumni meet on the 1st or 2nd of Jan, and Swami was talking to all the boys assembled there, and as he was going through each one of us in his mobile chair, Swami, as he turned around towards the front of the mandir, Swami basically said, these were the words basically. Swami said, have faith, keep coming and have faith. The amount of stress that he put on having faith was quite profound and powerful on that moment. And he went on to say that in the coming years, there'll be many things that will happen. Remember, this was back in 2011. He basically said in the coming years, many things will happen. Do not get distracted by any of those. Keep coming, have faith. That is the importance that Swami lays on having faith. And he does that in kind of many ways. He teaches that lesson to all of us in many different ways. I was just, I remembered another episode that's quite close to my heart. It happened to one of my classmates. I studied with him in Vrindavan, but he had the great fortune of studying in Swami's school right from his first standard. So this boy, he was, when he was around 9 or 10 years of age, they had a competition in the school, in the primary school, where each of these children had to go and say something. In this instance, it was Swami's Ashtotra Namavali. So he went onto the stage. I imagine 9 or 10-year-old boy. He went onto the stage. He started chanting the Ashtotram Sahasra Namavali. And as he went to about the 10th or 15th line, he actually forgot. He froze. He didn't know what to say. And at that point, think about this, that innocent boy at that age was just earnestly praying to Swami to come and save him. And as he was making prayer, lo and behold, Swami appeared then and there in front of him, literally, hit him or patted him on his head and said, read this now. And he showed a sort of a piece of a scroll or a piece of paper where all the Ashtotrams appeared, and all he had to do was just read it one by one. And he just raced through all the way through the 108 names. And of course, no one else could see Swami. It was only him in the auditorium, the school auditorium, which was further away from Swami's mandir, that it was only him for whom Swami appeared to save that 9-year-old boy from that moment. And why, I quite find this episode quite fascinating, because for Swami, when it comes to saving his devotees, Age doesn't matter, whether it's a 5-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid or an 80-year-old person, it doesn't matter. Caste, creed, amount of wealth we have, whether we have a lot of wealth or don't have any wealth at all, none of these matter. For Swami, an earnest prayer from his devotee is all that matters, irrespective of what age, what religion, what creed, and what race each one comes from. So that's the beauty, Swami going there to save that 9 or 10-year-old boy. And of course, just after that, he went on to win a prize there. And recently sent me a picture of that postcard that he dropped he sent to his mother just after this episode. And he was basically saying, Mommy, you should come to Parthi. What happened? We had this competition, and I literally froze and I got stuck. And Swami appeared in front of me, tapped on my head, and then asked me to read and hold through throughout the Ashtotram, and that was quite thrilling for me when I heard that for the first time a few years ago, and it constantly remind myself of the assurance that Swami gives all of us, that he will be there, he will come and save us, he will be there for us, and all it takes for us to just simply close our eyes and make a prayer. That is one thing. But there was another episode that that happened again in one of the alumni meets, where one of the brothers asked Swami, what is the best way to surrender? For which Swami said, surrender is not that easy to achieve, Bangaru. Develop faith first. Again, Swami, laid the basis that faith is the first and foremost that all of us would have to develop in our spiritual journeys. And, there's an episode where Swami, there's a caretaker in the Puttaparthi ashram called Chiranjeevi Rao Garu. And there was one of my professors who narrated this episode to me years ago, and again, this is an episode that's quite close to my heart, and it kind of beautifully explained the meaning of surrender and what it means to behave in a way where one has surrendered himself or herself to at Swami's lotus feet. So in this case, they were having a construction done just near the Prashanti Mandir. I think it was around the Poornima auditorium. And then when Chiranjeevi Rao Garu was taking care of all those constructions, he was supervising clearly because he was the caretaker of the ashram. Swami took a couple of boys with him one day and then went to Mr. Chiranjeevi Rao and asked him to construct certain things in a particular way, construct a wall and things like that in a particular way, gave him detailed instructions of what to do, detailed specifications of what to do and how to do, and basically told him, hey, I'll come back tomorrow, have this done by then. So he goes away with these two boys. The next day or soon after, he comes back when the construction was over, and then he stood there and literally blasted Chiranjeevi Rao Garu left, right and center. He was like, who asked you to do this? Who asked you to construct this type of thing? Like, why are you wasting my devotees' money? You have no right to do that, and all those things in front of these boys. And the same two boys, and basically said, take this whole thing down and construct it this way, and have it ready, and I'll come back again. And then when Swami left the venue and he was going with the boys, one of the boys mustered a bit of courage and asked Swami, if you don't mind, if I were to ask you, it was you who told Chiranjeevi Rao Garu to construct it this way just yesterday or day before, and it was and he did what you said, but today you went and literally scolded him for no fault of his. Why is that? And Swami lovingly replied back to these boys and said, of course I know that. All I wanted to do was I wanted to illustrate what surrender means to both of you. Look at this person. He is much older than these boys were in their teenagers. At that time, probably in his late 60s. He is as old as Swami's physical age. And then in front of these two teenage boys, Swami scolds him for no fault of his. But he did not even open his mouth. And that's what Swami pointed out, to say, look here, I know that I was the one who told something else to him and I instructed him differently today. But had he opened his mouth at that time and said, Swami, it was you who did that yesterday, the conversation would have been over. But, look at his complete surrender, that for him, it didn't matter what Swami said. He was there to obey Swami as Swami told him to. And it didn't matter, he didn't apply his logic. So surrender is really beyond logic for us to think about anything at all. So he literally just gave, and it was his immense faith in Swami that allowed him to, surrender himself to Swami in that fashion. So Swami beautifully said, had he interrupted me, the conversation would have been over. But because of his, quality of surrender, that he just listened to me, just like what Arjuna did to Krishna. When Krishna said, "Is that an eagle?" Arjuna said, "Yes, it is an eagle." "Is that a crow?" He again replied that it was indeed whatever bird that Krishna himself was telling. So that is a quality that Swami wanted to illustrate. And imagine if we were to read this type of a concept on a book, that is one thing. We might say, oh, surrender means this and that. But when Swami uses these eminent devotees to illustrate what surrender means or what having faith means, the power of that kind of an episode is huge, because it forms an impression on our hearts and we are able to relate what it means to surrender and what it means to do something to Swami in a certain way. Even a few weeks ago when Auntie Geeta Mohan Ram was talking in one of the Sai Karuna talks, she mentioned about another person called, a great devotee called Mr. Rama Brahmam. He was the caretaker of Vrindavan ashram. And in one such episode, she narrated how, when the Vice President of India came to Vrindavan to have Swami's darshan, he basically made him wait for a few hours because Swami had already retired. He had gone upstairs to his room and he wasn't expected to come back downstairs until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think the Vice President of India turned up somewhere before that, sometime before that. And he literally, for Mr. Ramabrahmam, nothing else mattered. Swami was the only thing that mattered. And he was there to obey Swami's instructions. So he didn't really see, oh, if the president has come, perhaps I should go and disturb Swami or anything. It didn't matter to him. So he made the vice president wait for a few hours. And when Swami came downstairs, clearly, he acted as though he was surprised. He's the all-knowing, omnipotent and omniscient. But, he does this drama in front of all of us. And, when the vice president came, he was like, oh, why did you make him wait and all those things. And then eventually, Mr. Ramabrahma was asked to leave the mandir and he was asked to just go away. And then anytime he was pushed further away, he ended up waiting outside the ashram gates. And he was a very strict and well-built man, apparently. And he was asked to, just go outside the ashram. And all he did was, nothing mattered for him. For days together, he just stood there, didn't even encourage a conversation with anyone. He just stood there. He was just chanting Swami's name throughout. And that shows a great quality there, for no fault of his. Although Swami asked him to, Swami, in a sense, in the worldly eyes, Swami reprimanded him for no fault of his. It didn't matter to him. All he did was just literally went outside and kept praying to Swami, chanting his name. And after a few days, of course, Swami asked him to come back in. And that was another, nice episode of how this happened. You should listen to Auntie Geeta's talk when you get a chance. Those all those talks and all those Sai Karuna talks are on YouTube. You should listen to that. And then when he eventually comes back, he asks Swami, why did he do all these things before no fault of his? And Swami lovingly said, hey, look here, it is not for you. I know about you. It is for all the others to know what surrender means. That I made you go through that. And that's beautiful, because it's because of these eminent devotees that today we stand here and we kind of are able to relate what it means to surrender ourselves, or what it means to have that 100% faith in Swami. And we've got a target here to emulate from these people, or Swami in himself. Forget about individual devotees. Swami has lived and showed all of us what to do, and we just need to emulate and imitate Swami as much as we can. I think with those words, I just like to conclude my my talk here today, and thank you all for your time and giving me this opportunity to share a few words with you. And I'll just end with a prayer that Swami gives all of us, that faith that he wanted all of us to have, and so that he can take us all closer to him. Jai Sai Ram.
Offering my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Respected elders, brothers, sisters and children, Jai Sai Ram. My name is Raghu Viswanathan and I'm a joint spiritual coordinator for Region 1. I have the great pleasure of introducing a musical performance by Brother Dr. Sharavanan Jayanathan. Dr. Sharavanan is a long-term member and former president of Bromley Sai Centre. He is currently the healthcare coordinator for Region 1. He is a practicing GP and a talented musician, accomplished in Carnatic vocal and playing percussion instruments, as you will see shortly. He has had the great fortune of singing in front of Swami during the Sai Mahima 5 program in 2004. Without further ado, let us extend a warm welcome to Brother Sharavanan. Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Respected Sai elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sai Ram to you all. I pray that you are keeping well and safe during these very unusual and uncertain times. It is our faith in our beloved Bhagavan that helps us to weather the storm of such turbulent seas. It is my humble honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to present to you a wonderful piece of music that I had the divine chance to present in the presence of our beloved Bhagavan in the summer of 2004 as part of the Sai Mahima 5 pilgrimage to Prashanti Nilayam. A piece of music that describes the indescribable divine beauty of Lord Muruga, which requires at least 1,000 eyes. The one who rode around the world upon his peacock, the brother of Lord Ganapati, and the one who became the guru of his father, Lord Shiva. As beautiful as the red sun and a full moon combined, he is the personification of grace that both the heavens and the mortals on this earth gaze upon in wonder. Would one not need 1,000 eyes to behold such beauty? Jai Sai Ram.
சந்தனமும் ஜவ்வாதும் சேர்ந்து மணம் கமழ பாலபிஷேகமுடன் நெற்றித் திருநீரணிந்து பக்தர் படை சூழ்ந்து வர தங்கரது தேரினிலே வள்ளி தெய்வ யானையுடன் காட்சி தரும் அழகை காண ஆயிரம் கண் வேண்டும். செங்கதிரும் முழுமதியும் சேர்ந்தமைந்த சுந்தரனை விண்ணகமோ மன்னகமோ பார்த்து நிற்கும் அருளவனை செங்கதிரும் முழுமதியும் சேர்ந்தமைந்த சுந்தரனை விண்ணகமோ மன்னகமோ காத்து நிற்கும் அருளவனை செங்கதிரும் முழுமதியும் சேர்ந்தமைந்த சுந்தரனை விண்ணகமோ மன்னகமோ காத்து நிற்கும் அருளவனை காண ஆயிரம் கண்டேன் உன்னை காண கண்ணாயிரம் வேண்டும் முருகனை காண ஆயிரம் கண்டேன் உன்னை காண கண்ணாயிரம் வேண்டும் முருகனை காண முகனை காண குருபரனை காண சரவண பவனை காண சக்தி பாலனை காண ஆறுமுகனை காண சிவமுருகனை காண ஆயிரம் வேண்டும் முருகா முருகா முருகா
Jai Sairam. My humble pranams to the lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jitesh Patel and I'm the Region 1 Service Coordinator and Deputy Chair. I'd like to offer my sincerest thanks to Auntie Karanath, Sister Vasuki and Brother Anandam for their enlightening talks. A big thank you also to Brother Sharanavan for his musical offering, the SSC children and Brother Rajendra Bhai for editing this package together. We are now approaching the end of the COVID tunnel and there is light to be seen. Even during the lockdown, we in Region were actively involved in healthcare activity. We have made a total of 764 visors that we have distributed to hospitals and care homes. On top of that, we were participating in the Trussell Trust food program where devotees would directly donate food via Tesco stores that were participating in this particular program. On top of that, our Meals on Wheels service and also distribution of food directly to vulnerable families was carried on. I would like to say a thank you to all the devotees for watching this program, and we will now finish this with 2 bhajans and aarti. Jai Sai Ram.
Bye. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई।